What's up, guys? September 12th, a nice day for me. Caught a really nice short in CRON, okay, one of the marijuana plays. I think the weakest of the big three, TLRY, Canopy Growth, CRON. CRON is the weakest of the three. TLRY new all-time highs today, short squeeze in full effect with a small float. And what I'm going to go over with you guys in this video, well, first, today was a kind of a weird day for me. I had to step away from my computer earlier in the morning because I had just a pounding, pulsating headache. Like, it was more of a migraine that was just like it got into my eyes. I couldn't even look at my computer screen anymore. And I just had to step away from my computer and go lay down. I took some Advil and was just kind of trying to rest it off. But I had two trades on at that point. Okay, caught a really nice short in CRON. Made a little bit of money long DFFN, but nothing really to write home about. The bulk of my profits today are in this CRON trade. So I was kind of like checking my phone, we'll see what the stocks were doing. I would run back, place my trade. I had stop losses set, but then, when it came to time to taking profits and everything. Today was kind of a weird day for me. Real quick before I get into the purpose of this video, I just want to touch briefly upon, guys, you have to be laser focused when you're trading. You've got real money on the line. If you are not feeling well, you've got a headache, you're sick, maybe you've got something going on in your personal life that's kind of messing with your mind, take some time off. Walk away from your computer. Take a couple hours. Take a day. Take 2 days. It's more important that you're laser focused, and if there's anything that is hindering that, it's more important probably that it's better that you do not trade, because when you got real money on the line, you got to make sure that you're laser focused. A heart surgeon's not going to go in and do open heart surgery when they've got 103-degree fever. Okay, you've got to be laser focused. Maybe the severity of that analogy is a little over exaggerated, but you guys get the point that I'm trying to make. So that's why I had to step away from I couldn't even look at my screen today. It was pretty bad. So I had to go kind of lay down. But while I was resting, I was making money, and that was the beauty of it. So this video is going to be about absorbing all of the information that a stock is giving you, and understanding how and why you can't just single in and focus on like one indicator. You've got to go into your analysis open arms. Suck all that information in, all the data that a stock is giving you. Take it all in to understand the big picture. Okay, one of those, it's also one of the reasons why I don't use 1 minute candles, because it's very, very tiny time frame. There's a lot of false signals that it gives. I like 3 minute candles, 5 minute candles. Gives you a better feel for the overall action in a stock. And this is prompted by a question that a member asked me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I do a recap in chat. I recap all my trades on the day, the lessons we can learn from the day, my analysis on the trades when I was in them, why I did what I did, why I took profit when I did, and what I expect, on the coming days. I go through a recap every day. So one of our members in chat today after market asked me a very specific question, and that's what prompted this video. And it's really about not focusing too much attention on one indicator, but rather looking at the 30,000 square foot view and taking all of the information in. Okay, as you develop as a trader, you'll start to see this stuff like that. Okay, when I'm looking at a chart and I'm going through my analysis, I see 4 or 5 different indicators and levels like that, and snap my fingers. And you will too, as you get deeper and you become more experienced and you go through more studying and more, you get more education and that type of stuff. And that's what this video is going to be all about. So I'm going to get into this CRON short. I'm going to walk you guys through it, and then I'll tell you at what point. I'll tell you the question that the member asked and at what point he's referring to, and we'll go over that. Okay, so here's this CRON short. We go to the daily chart, guys. CRON, a lot of indecision in this. There's so much indecision in this action. It's insane. Okay, so much indecision there on that CRON. You had the huge gap up, pull back, retest all-time high, totally collapse, gap back up, make new all-time high, puts in this very lonesome candle. okay, on huge volume. There's a very lonely candle up here. It's got no neighbors, and all of a sudden you see that we gap, big gap down, and then you've got this small bounce on very light volume, and now the rollover. You're starting to get a little bit of a rollover here. Meanwhile, TLRY is exploding, new all-time highs, short squeeze in full effect, small float. So CRON is the shortest of the big three: CRON, CGC, TLRY. And this is the one that I went after and I tried to short today. Okay, now getting to the chart, we got to go to a 15-minute to really show you what it is that I'm looking at. And there's a lot of different resistance levels here that are working their way down on CRON, and that's what I like. Here's your double top high right around the all-time high on CRON. This is that big lonely day. Okay, the day the stock has that candle up there on the daily chart. I just showed you where it's lonely. It's got no neighbors. Okay, there's that double top. Then as we move down, you can see here another double top. Okay, resistance. This is a 15-minute chart. Look at this resistance here now, how the resistance moved down from 1330 now to 1240. Okay, now as we pan over, you can see now that resistance level is starting to work its way down even further. Here you can see a little double top resistance at 12. Okay, so the resistance level is working its way down, kind of holding the stock down, like putting a lid on the stock, kind of pushing it down. And that's what I liked. So when I saw CRON gap down today and it pushed real quickly off the opening bell, let's go to a 3-minute now, and we pushed real quickly off the opening bell up to test that $12 level and got denied. The stock rolled back over, basically back down to test the low of the day. Okay, here's your low of the day. We rally, get denied at that resistance, collapse all the way back down to the low of the day. This stock did not hold up here and consolidate below the low of below that $12 level. It didn't consolidate up here. It touched it and then ran away from it, showing me there's heavy resistance there still. And we didn't just pull back and then regain our footing. We pulled all the way back down to the low of the day. Once I saw that, I said, I'm looking to get short. I'm going to use the high of the day as my stop loss. I saw the VWAP holding resistance. I got short right in here, guys, at $11.74, looking for a trade line VWAP crossover to the downside. I'll take you to my trade announcements on the day. Here you guys see at 9:57 a.m., short CRON at $11.74, stop loss $12 area. That's just before 10 a.m. Okay, so that's actually right inside this candle. Okay, this is where I got short at 11.74. My stop loss was going to be the high of the day. What I'm looking for here was a trade line VWAP crossover, and we got it. The yellow line crossed below VWAP, and that acted as resistance and pushed the stock all the way down to new lows. We broke through the low of the day, rolled over. I took some profit right here. And then I took the bulk of my position profit off right there. Okay, these are my two take profits, 25% of my position, 50% of my position, still holding 25%. Okay, and this brings me to the question that the member asked. When we typically get a trade line VWAP crossover, whether it's to the upside or the downside, whether you're long or short, okay, in this case, it's a crossover to the downside, we're short. You look for that trade line to become resistance. Okay, in this case, it did. Here's your trade line VWAP cross right there, and you can see as soon as we got that cross, it held resistance. You see it come down, resistance, resistance. Stock breaks the low of the day, consolidates, trade line catches up, bang, resistance, pushes it lower. We try to bounce back, bang, resistance, stock pulls back in. And then you can see right here, we pierced back above that trade line. And the member's question was, Mike, what made you stay in this short, the bulk of your position, even though we tailed through the trade line? Because with this pattern, trade line VWAP crossover, you look for that trade line to then become resistance. In this case, if it's to the upside and you're long, you look for it to become support. So it's like, why did you not stop out after we tailed through? And the answer is you have to take in all of the information that a stock is giving you. Okay, you can't just zoom in and focus on one indicator and put all your eggs in one basket on that one indicator. You've got to look at everything the stock is telling you, because had you done that, you would have seen that CRON was in a picture-perfect bear flag pattern. Guys, I'm about to draw out a bear flag pattern for you on CRON. If you Google bear flag and click on the images, I guarantee you see an image exactly like what I'm about to show you. And there's other things there as well. So let's get into it. First, the previous low of the day. Here's your previous low of the day. before I get into the bear flag, here's your previous low of the day. Once we broke below it, you can see the stock bounce back and could not get back above that previous low. That is a good sign that that previous low is now acting as resistance. So as long as the stock stays below that level, we're good. You look for it to continue to roll. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't just cover my whole position there once we popped above the trade line, because we're still trading below the previous morning low and the stock still looks really weak. Now, as I delete these lines, you will see a very nice, clear bear flag pattern. Guys, this is textbook bear flag pattern. Right here is your bear flag. Now, I guarantee you, look out, right? It's so easy to see it now that I just drew it out. I guarantee you, go Google bear flag, click on the images. I guarantee you see something that looks exactly like that. Okay, that is a bear flag. Here's your big, strong down move, definitive down move, consolidation, wedge, pennant pattern, flag, break below that bottom support trend line, bang, continuation to the downside. Picture perfect. Okay, but if you were only focusing on that trade line, you would not have seen this. And you would have covered your entire short position right here when the stock tailed through the trade line, and you'd be cursing yourself when it's down here. Okay, and it's because you would be too focused on one specific indicator rather than taking into account all the information the stock is giving you. Held the previous low. Okay, bear flag. And we also have VWAP. Okay, VWAP showed us earlier that it was resistance with that VWAP trade line crossover to the downside. So now, yes, we tailed through the trade line, but we still are trading below the previous low of the day. We're still in a bear flag pattern, and I still have VWAP. That is my last line of defense on the short side. Okay, had we broken above VWAP and let's say CRON, did one of these, okay, at that point I would have covered the rest of my position, still up on the trade. Guys, I remember I got short at 1174. When this tailed through here, we were at 1130. 1135. So I'm still well in the money. I already took some profit off right here. Let me take you my trade announcements, guys. I posted when I came back in chat. I posted all my trade alerts just to kind of let everybody know what I did with the positions, because I wasn't in chat when I was dealing with my migraine. I was kind of laying down and everything. So when I came back in chat, that's why you see trades while I was away from my computer, and I gave everybody the timestamps in chat when I took those profits. So you guys can see that I took some profit off at 1125, and then I took more profit off at 1088. So those were my two take profits on that CRON. And it was just, so I already have profit locked in, and I've got all of these different levels and indicators that could create an area of resistance for me to hold that stock down. And that's what I mean about absorbing all the information that the stock is giving you. Okay, and it all goes back to, first thing was first, we gapped down. Second thing was we got denied at a previous resistance level that I just identified at that $12 level. Then once we got denied at that resistance, we fell all the way back down to the initial low of the morning, a sign of weakness. Then we got a trade line view up crossover. Then we broke the low of the day on, by the way, a very strong volume bar. Okay, then we broke the low again, follow through, continuation to the downside. We tried to bounce, couldn't get back above that previous low, bear flag pattern. Oh, we tailed through the trade line. Not that big. I've still got so much working in my favor, pointing to further downside. You can't focus in on one little indicator like that. You have to be able to analyze everything the stock is giving you. And that is why I was able to stay in the bulk of my position and cover at 1088 when I did. Okay, and that's what this video is all about. Do not focus in on one, and do not get caught up on one specific indicator. You've got to be able to analyze and absorb all the information the stock is giving you so you can develop a proper, unbiased analysis on what the stock is doing. Okay, that's what this video is all about. Great trade. I'm still short some, looking for a move down towards 10 bucks. We'll see if we get it in the coming days. See you guys in chat.